All right. Good job, Andrew. So the next word, say play.
Play.
Excuse me. Simple or complex?
Simple.
Tap the sounds.
A.
Name the graphemes.
Play.
Write and name.
Play spells play.
Nice. Sentence 3. We have to run for cover and get to the shelter before the storm hits. Say have.
Have.
Simple or complex?
Simple.
Wonder word.
Yeah.
Name the graphemes.
It's H-A-V-E.
Write and name.
H-A-V-E spells have.
Nice job. Say cover.
Cover.
Simple or complex?
Simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job. Tap the sounds. Name the graphemes.
C-O-V-E-R.
Write and name.
C-O-V-E-R spells cover.
Nice. Last word, shelter. Say shelter.
Shelter.
Simple or complex?
Simple.
Mm-hmm. Tap the sounds.
Sh-E-R.
Name the graphemes.
S-H-E-L-T-E-R.
Write and name.
S-H-E-L-T-E-R spells shelter.
Nice job. Sentence 4. The child was shivering from the wind blowing so hard. Say shivering.
Shivering.
Simple or complex?
Simple.
Shivering.
I'm pretty sure, is ing a suffix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then it'd be complex.
Complex, yep.
Okay,
So
sure.
let's see how it's built. So shivering, how is it built? And do a word sound.
Base and suffix.
Yeah, base and suffix.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's make the word sound. What's the base?
Shiver.
Wonder word?
No.
Tap the sounds. Tap the sounds. Name the graphemes.
S-H-I-V-E-R.
Go ahead and write a name in your word sound.
S-H-I-V-E-R spells shiver.
What's the suffix?
Ing.
What letters? Graphemes?
I-N-G.
Go ahead and write a name.
I-N-G. I-N-G. And then S-H-I-V-E-R-I-N-G is rewritten as shivering.
Yeah, nice job. Good. And our last one, that you want to go ahead and write it in there, and then I'll set up our last word sum. Last word. Okay, last word. Say blowing.
Blowing.
Simple or complex?
Complex.
How is it built?
Base and suffix.
Base and suffix. Well, so let's make the word sound. What's the base?
Blow.
Tap the sounds.
B-O.
Name the graphemes.
B-L-O-W.
Write a name.
B-L-O-W is written as...
No, just write.
Oops.
It's okay. You're just writing and naming the base right now.
B-L-O-W.
Excellent. What's the suffix?
Ing. I-N-G.
Go ahead and write a name.
I-N-G.
Yep, so
and
go.
then B-L-O-I-N-G is rewritten as blowing.
Nice job. Go ahead and write that on your paper.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to dictation. So remember that I can repeat the sentence until you start writing, and then once you start writing, I will ready? First sentence. The snake had slithered away from the egg.
The snake had slithered away from the egg.
What slithered?
The snake,
And what did it slither away from?
the egg.
Okay, tell me the sentence one more time.
The snake slithered away from the egg.
The snake had slithered
Had slithered.
away from the egg.
The snake had slithered away from the egg.
If you're ready, go ahead and write.
The
Sentence 2.
Mhm.
My temper got the best of me when the Nerf ball hit me. This is real life. My temper got the best of me when the Nerf ball hit me.
my temper got the best of me when the Nerf ball hit me.
When did my temper get the best of me?
When the Nerf ball hit me.
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
Okay, last one. The fishermen had leftover snacks for their next trip.
The fishermen had leftover snacks for their next trip.
Who had leftover snacks?
The fishermen.
Yes. The fishermen had leftover snacks for their next trip. Okay, looks like you're done, so go ahead and you will read each sentence out loud while checking for COPS. So remember,
Okay.
COPS is capitalization, organization, punctuation, spelling, and spacing. Go ahead and start with sentence 1. You can read it out loud and then just check for these things.
The snake had slithered away from the egg.
Remember, during this time, you can erase errors and rewrite if you need to. And I can repeat any words if needed. Okay, go ahead, the next one.
My temper got the best of me when the Nerf ball hit me. Wait,
repeat anything?
No, I'm just thinking. Mm, go with the first answer.
Okay.
Okay, the
Next
next
one.
one. The fishermen had leftover snacks for their next trip. Mm, okay.
Done?
Yeah, I can.
There's one error in that sentence.
Is it men?
The men is correct, but it is with that, you're right in that thinking. What do you think is not correct about that? What kind of a word do you think fisherman is?
Number,
Yeah, good. What's that called?
compound word.
Yep. So go ahead and put a line through it and write it above it. Nice job. Very good. Nice. All right, we're going to move on to our reading. Today you are going to read a story called Every Day After. Okay? You're going to read the story called Every Day After. You'll have your pencil to track as you read. Do you want to do a pre-reading?
No.
No pre-reading. So I will time you for 1 minute, and then remember after that I will multiply that number by 1.2, and that will be your goal for the next reading.
Okay.
Okay? So let me go to my clock, set my timer. Okay. When you are ready, go ahead and begin, and I'll start the timer.
Okay. Every day after school, all of the kids flocked to Jim's house to play computer games. They knew that Jim was the best player in the school, maybe even in town. Nobody could beat Jim at any computer game, but they always tried. One afternoon, Jim was playing Space Ace with his friends. He played very well that day and reached a championship level of performance. His score was higher than anyone in history. He took a picture of the screen and mailed it to the company that created the game. 2 months later, while Jim and his friends were playing games, the doorbell.
Okay, go ahead and stop. Nice job. You read 103 words. In that first trial, you had one error. And that error came from right here. What word is that?
Into.
That word is into. When you read it, you said, and mailed it to, instead of mailed it into.
Okay.
All right, so let me take your score. 102 out of 103, which is 99% accuracy. All right, your new goal is to read 122 words per minute. Okay?
Okay.
So for that one, I think that your prosody for that one was 2. So remember when you're reading, I'm just going to read the first couple sentences so you can hear kind of what like a prosody of 3 would sound like. Every day after school, all the kids flocked to Jim's house to play computer games. They knew that Jim was the best player in the school, maybe even in town. Nobody could beat Jim at any computer game, but they had always tried. So I do like a little short pause at the comma, but not very long, just like a break and then keep reading. Okay? So your goal, 122 words correct per minute. I think you
Okay.
can do it. Okay? Well, I know you can do it. What do you think? You got confidence today?
I guess.
Yes, I like it. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and begin.
Every day after school, all the kids flocked to Jim's house to play computer games. They knew that Jim was the best player in the school, maybe even in town. Nobody could beat Jim at any computer game, but they always tried. One afternoon, Jim was playing Space Ace with his friends. He played very well that day and reached a championship level of performance. His score was higher than anyone in history. He took a picture of the screen and mailed it into the company that created the game. 2 months later, while Jim and his friends were playing games, the doorbell rang. Jim's mother answered the door, and there stood 2 men in uniforms. They were from NASA, and they wanted to speak to Jim. Jimmy,
Nice job. Got it. Let's see. Nice job. You read 128 words that time. Well done. You didn't have any errors. Your prosody was really good. Does it help to hear that? Like when I read it to you, does it
Yeah.
help to hear that? Yeah, cool. All right. So your hot read, you read 128 words correct. Your accuracy was 100%. Your prosody was a 3. So I think we will stop there because you met your goal. So let's see. Do you remember the name of the game that they were playing?
Ace.
Something like that.
I'm not looking down that.
Yeah, I know. You're right. You're close. Space Ace was the game.
Yeah, I was trying to. It had something to do with space and then ace. And I
Why
couldn't
did they
remember.
always go to Jim to try to play with Jim?
Because he's from what everyone can tell, he's the best player in the school.
Yeah, he's the best player in the school. And who showed up at their house at the end there that you read?
2 NASA employees.
Yeah, 2 NASA employees showed up to talk to him. Okay, let's end our lesson. So, what did you learn today?
Trying to remember what we did.
Yeah, we've had to split this up into 2 days. So last week we looked at the vowel phoneme ER. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and how R is being a bossy letter
Yeah.
and is basically taking the sound completely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we went back over some of our other old lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what they were.
We did review for the suffixes and prefixes that
Yeah.
you've learned.
We went over those, and then we also went back over some of the ones where 2 vowels are together.
Mm-hmm. The
and-
vowel teams.
Yeah, the vowel teams where when 2 vowels are together, they make the first one say its name.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went back over cops,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yep.
I can't really think of anything else we went over.
No, I think that's great. So I do think from our lesson on when we met Thursday last week, I still think that we need to look at stress when we're coding words. Sometimes that
Yeah.
stress stresses you out a little bit.
Yeah,
So we'll look
I-
at that on our next lesson again when we get to that part. And then the new concept that we'll cover is ER, but suffix ER and suffix EST. And we'll look at that next.
Okay.
Okay, great job today. I'm gonna press stop on my